everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be speaking about the anatomy of the eye and its functioning. If you want to see the same exact video but in Spanish, be sure to check out Adri's YouTube channel. It's gonna be linked right above. My name is Zuli. I am the English instructor, and I'm going to be focusing on the English version of these educational videos, and this is Nana and Mona. I'm pretty sure you all know that this is not an anatomy class, and obviously we're not anatomy teachers or anything like that, but we also want you to be well educated, and things that we definitely found interesting that you should all know, that we should all know, especially being eyelash extension artists. We are working with one of the most important parts of the body, which is obviously the eye area. First thing is first, here we have the upper and lower lid, which is the layer of the skin that protects the eye. Here we also have the upper and lower birth line of the eyelashes. Just as the name says it, this is where the natural lashes grow. Here we also find the iris, which is the colored part of the eye that contracts or enlarges depending on the intensity of the light. And the pupil is the black hole through which light enters the eye. Now in this picture, you can see the internal part of the eye. We can also see the sclera, which is a white, highly resistant membrane that maintains the circular shape of the eye. It's like the skeleton. Here we also have the conjunctiva. It's a transparent layer that covers the surface of the eye and the inner part of the eyelid and serves as protection against external agents. Why should we be very well educated when it comes to the anatomy of the eye? First of all, in my opinion, it is a very interesting topic, and I feel like I would have a lot of respect for the person who is doing my eyelash extensions if they know all of these extra things. I mean, first of all, it shouldn't even be extra. It should be something that you know, because one, you are working with one of the most important parts of the body, the eyes. So if you are very well educated on this, I feel like a lot of people will have a lot of respect for you, and they will be very comfortable that you are their lash artist. Number two, you do not want to cause serious damage to any part of the eye because of the lack of practice or the lack of knowledge. I mean, it is just very important to stay well educated, and at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you are doing your very best to keep each and every one of your guests well educated as well. Now, you could probably be asking yourself, what could go wrong? First off, we can cause serious burn to the eyelid if we apply adhesive directly or close to the eyelids. And the reason we mention this is because we know there are people who have been used to doing this, and let me tell you, no, this shall never be done, never. Second of all, the natural lashes can become damaged partially or completely if you apply eyelash extensions onto the eyelid, which contains adhesive. You want to make sure you are applying the extensions about 2 to 3 millimeters away from the skin or lids. Why does this happen? If we apply adhesive onto the skin, we cause for the follicle to get clogged, which is where the extension grows. This causes the follicle to lose oxygen, which proceeds to then cause permanent damage of the lash growth. I'm sure you've heard of those very bad experiences people have had when dealing with bad practice of eyelash extension application. It's no surprise that there will no longer be any type of lash growth in that area of the eye. Another thing that you can run into is obviously the conjunctivitis, and basically what that is pink eye. And what you need to know is that conjunctivitis could be caused by the adhesive, and I know that a lot of people are not very well aware of that, but yes, the adhesive has lots of ingredients, and that is one thing that you need to watch out for, because your guest could be allergic or very sensitive to any of those ingredients. And what pink eye is, it is basically an inflammation of the conjunctiva, which is the transparent part that surrounds the eyeball and protects it. So basically, you need to make sure that you let your guests know, first of all, you are not going to complete any type of service with a client that has pink eye. Why? Because not only is it going to cause more inflammation and more infection to that part, but it is also contagious and putting not only you, but your guest, your other guest, your tools and equipment in danger, because obviously we all know that pink eye is very, very contagious. It would be very clear that you would not be taking a client with pink eye or conjunctivitis. Muscular system. This is a meeting of at least 6 to 8 muscles that intervene in the external and internal movement of the eye. We are not going to go very in depth with all of this, but there is a lot of articles out there that you can definitely look into. But the most important thing is to know that these muscles are very small and located externally. This means that if they are pressed for a long time or are more manipulated, they can cause injuries such as the loss of eyelids. So we must make sure that while applying the extensions, these muscles are protected. Another thing that can happen, which is obviously not very common, is palpebral ptosis, and that is basically when the upper lid is drooping over the eye. And obviously we have seen where guests do have droopy eyes. Sometimes this is normal when you are aging, but the type of ptosis that I am talking about, this ptosis is permanent damage because of the application of the extensions, or just any application in general, where you are placing harsh pressure on the eye area, and you can basically just cause that permanent damage. So basically what we are trying to say is to be very well educated, and practice makes perfect. Try to make sure that you are just taking in all of the education that you can when it comes to the pressure that you should be applying. And this is why a lot of the times in the previous videos, I don't know if you guys have seen, we apply the extensions just, applying the pinky pressure where it's not, your complete hand pressure, if that makes sense. But don't worry, because later on we are going to be showing you more examples. Lacrimal system. We can find the internal and external lacrimal. What is the function of the lacrimal? Well, simply it is to produce and channel tears to the surface of the eye, where they flush out debris and waste, which comes from the lacrimal gland located within the orbit above the lateral end of the eye. If by any reason you apply adhesive here by accident in these sections, you will cause lacrimal tamponade, which can lead to a very bad consequence. Clogging the lacrimal. This is another situation that we have to be very well aware of. It is very rare, but these are the symptoms, which are redness of the eye, scabs, itchiness, and in some cases, there could be tumors. So even though these are rare situations, we want to make sure that you are very well educated, because if you are well educated, that means that you are able to put everything in hand, or to make sure you can prevent this situation in every way possible. Now that we have that basic knowledge of the anatomy of the eye, we can now move on to another important topic, which is the lash growth. If you want to stay notified whenever we post another video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click that notification button. That way you know whenever we post the lash growth video. And with that in mind, we are going to be posting every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Also, make sure that you are following us on all of our social media. The links will be in the description box below. We really hope that you enjoyed this video, and honestly, we hope that it was educational and interesting. We will see you all in the next video. We love you guys, and until next time, bye!